right here at work decided to hop on, chop it up with individuals. See what's the talk of the town is going down. The word on the curve. You heard me. Let me just set this up. You already know here in Southern California, it is a beautiful, beautiful day to be enjoying yourself. You know, nice day. It's kind of hot, right? It's like in the 90s, right? But it doesn't feel as like the other days. The heat was just like unbearable. So, you know, it's a beautiful day to be enjoying yourself, you know, grilling or doing what you do. What's cracking like in Dashpool? What's good, my boy? What you getting into, Loke? Chilling like a villain? Okay. Whoopsie, what am I doing? Whoa. How's your day going? How's your Sunday going? Everything smooth groove? You already know. We slaving away like always. Mr. Pasas de Felipe in the casa for the raza. What's good? What's cracking like in carnal? How's your Sunday going? ¿A toda madre o un desmadre? Yep, the sun does always shine, my boy. Not so good, unfortunately. I need to catch up on some sleep. All right. I feel you, bro. Hey, well, isn't that what that mattress is for? Oh, okay, all right. So you're still waiting for it, all right. This old mattress sucks. Yeah, I feel you, bro. I remember I had a beat up ass mattress. Shit, I remember at one point when we didn't have a mattress. I had to sleep on the floor for a cool minute. So I feel you, bro. I feel you 100. The Honda Accord reliable gets. Oh, bro, Honda Accords, bro. Those motherfuckers could hang, bro. Trust me. I had a Honda Accord back in the days, man, and I put that shit through hell. And that shit never let me down. The only thing is you got to be careful with those because, you know, they're easy to steal. You know, you can steal them with toenail clippers, and I'm not even lying. I'm being dead serious. Don't ask me how. I had to be young again, huh? Feels good to drive my own whip. It takes care of it. Yeah, I feel you. I slept on the floor when I was young. And back then, I didn't matter to me. But but see, as you get older, bro, it starts to matter a lot. We're not built like that no more. What are your opinions on Trump bombing Iran? Well, first is how the hypocrisy, first of all, right? Because he said that there would be no war with me. Trust me, you guys don't have to worry about war with me. You know, I'm the only president that could say, you know, there will never be another war, you know, as long as I'm in office. I'm able to say that confidently. Yeah, here we are. Right? And the fact that he tore up the agreement that they had just because it was a deal that Obama had set in motion, right? He couldn't bear, you know, Obama's name on there, right? Fucking goofball. But anywho, and then not only that, but his own intelligence, the person that he put in charge of his intelligence, right, is telling him there's no nuclear weapons. And this motherfucker's like, who said that? Nah, she's wrong. She don't know what she's talking about. Like, bro, you're the one that put her in charge. You're the one that picked her. I mean, she don't know what she's talking about. Man, that was crazy, though. That would just be throwing them, like, under the bus, huh? Live on TV, you know? That shit wasn't even a quote. Like, it came straight from the lion's mouth. Like, damn, Trump. I'll give him them. That motherfucker don't give a fuck. It'll be difficult working for that guy, bro. He just be throwing everyone under the bus. Huh? That fool don't give a fuck. Nah, but with all bullshit to the side, yeah, this is very bad. Very, very bad. You know, he's putting a lot of lives at risk right now, right? Because obviously Iran is gonna retaliate, bro. They're gonna retaliate. They're just gonna. You know what I mean? It's not even a matter of they might. No, they are. They are. Watch. My mattress doesn't have bank springs on the floor. It's very small, twin size. It's rotting it. What's cracking like in Rogelio? ¿Qué onda, my boy? Ya sabes, aquí nomás, carnal. How you been? ¿Al tiro? ¿Como gallo giro? Oh, the homie Derek is definitely up in the building. Trump's gonna set a chain reaction war. Well, yeah, well, no, yeah, obviously, right? All these other countries that were looking to make moves, they were just waiting for America to be distracted, right? Like, once America's occupied, that's when they're gonna make their move. You know what I mean? They're just waiting for America to get occupied somewhere, and then they're gonna start pushing their weight around. You know what I mean? Meaning like China, like Russia, especially China. You know, China just been waiting for this moment, right? Like, hurry up, go over there, but we can strike Taiwan. Come on now. We're trying to get Taiwan and the Philippines, so come on, man, come on. You guys are lagging it. Nah, seriously, they're slowly but surely moving their way towards that way, right? It's just that the news hasn't been covering it because they've been too distracted about what's going on with Israel and Iran, right? But China's military has been moving closer and closer to Taiwan and the Philippines, bro. So that's something also to keep an eye on. They're just waiting for America to be distracted, and then bam, they will start picking when pickings are good. North Korea has been waiting for America to be distracted too. That way they could hit South Korea. So they just been waiting for that as well. Remember, a lot of these countries don't make the moves that they want to do because they don't want to clash with America like that, right? Because they don't want all the attention of America's military on them. Look at I'm chingona, but America does have a really good military, right? So they know at least if they're distracted, on one side, they can at least make some moves. Because that's what it's all about. The revenue. Watching the NBA Finals Game 7. That's right, my boy. I feel you. Who do you got? Thunder? I would have said Thunder, right? But the fact that we're at Game 7 already, who knows? Right? I mean, there shouldn't have been a Game 7. Just looking at the Pacers roster, there really shouldn't have been a Game 7, but here we are. And not that I'm a fan of Turner. Turner's, I think he's a really good center. Halliburton's cool. He's cool. Yeah. But everybody, Siakam's good. Siakam's good too. But everybody else is like, eh. But then you have, the Thunder, with, Alexander, and you got Caruso and Williams and Chet and Dort. That feels good too. Damn, they got a solid squad. Fools are lucky, huh? Fools came up on that fucking Paul George deal. Fools robbed the Clippers. No shame. They got manhandled. No lube. No Diddy. Good homie with the kids at the house. That's right, my boy. Eso es todo, carnal. It's fucking hot too. So I feel you. Trump can give Iran an apology, and Iran will. Oh no, yeah, no, they're not. No, they're not gonna take no apologies. No. It's too late for that now. First you threaten the president that you know where he at, and you guys can kill him if you guys want to. So first you threaten that fool. Then you say that you're not gonna be involved in none of this, and that the America's not involved. Then you fucking go and bomb them at 3 a.m. Several locations, right? Come on now, bro. They don't want to hear no apology. After supposedly that you guys are gonna get a new treaty going and yada yada yada, and and here we are, huh? And I mean, we shouldn't have even been surprised that this was gonna happen, bro. I mean, it's Donald Trump that we're talking about here, bro. People don't know what he's gonna do. He pretty much goes, as the day goes, bro. However he's feeling in that moment is what he'll do. So nobody in his staff knows what's happening. That's why when they ask, his staff questions and they don't have any answers, that's because they truly don't have any answers because that fool doesn't tell them shit. Because that fool got no plans. He pretty much goes as he wakes up, then that's right. So they're all getting caught by surprise. Once they hear Donald Trump talk, that's the first time they're actually hearing the information themselves too. Like, all right. Then they just piggyback off of that. That's why when they say, well, yeah, the president, we'll have to talk to him. Donald Trump really thinks he's a dictator. Look, it's not that he's trying to be a dictator or a tyrant or nothing like that, right? He truly really feels that he's able to do, whatever the fuck he wants. I like when he was talking about the National Guard, when he was sending the National Guard here to Los Angeles, right? And he told his attorney general that he was like, yeah, but can't they just shoot the protesters in the leg or something? Yeah, he's like, I'm not trying to say that they should kill them or anything, but can't they at least shoot them in the legs? Like in the no, they just can't shoot them in the legs, you fucking crazy bastard. What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that to suggest? Now I don't know if he's fucking playing around or whatever, right? But I could see that for being serious, right? Because he said the legs, right? I can understand. He's like, well, can he just shoot them? You know, as a joke, right? A cruel joke, right? But I could at least see him, you know, saying something like that as a joking manner. But when he's saying like, well, can they at least shoot him in the legs? I feel like he's truly being serious. Like, hey, well, can we just shoot them somewhere where it's like non-lethal? I truly, really do believe that, you know, he was asking that for real though. Like, hey, you know, can it happen? I also saw the report recently that said if North Korea bombs South Korea, the U.S. will nuke North Korea. I don't feel like the U.S. will nuke North Korea, right? But since we have a treaty with South Korea, see, one of the things that a lot of the Republicans or those people on those sides that they don't get about politics, right? When they're like, how come we're meddling in another country's business? How come, you know, we always get involved? The thing is that when the United States does, you know, business with other countries, right? When they do treaties, right? They sign, you know, deals. And sometimes on the deals, it would be like, let's say they're getting their stuff from you guys a lot cheaper, but in return, you know, in case any, you know, other country tries to bully them or try to come and, you know, conquer them, the United States will help them, and in return, we'll give you guys, you know, this oil a lot cheaper. Let's just say, for example, right? Hey, okay, yeah, good deal, good deal. And they sign it and bam, 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 bam. So that's why whenever other countries come and attack, there goes the United States, because that's part of the fucking deals that they make. That's part of the fucking partnerships that they had. Like when we came at the aid of Saudi Arabia, you know, when Iran was attacking them, that's because we had a treaty with them. That was within the treaty. You know what I mean? And you just can't be breaking the fucking treaties. So all these countries are in bed with each other. That's the reason why we get involved. It's not because the United States actually cares about these people and are really to defend justice. Oh, bro. Because, hey, in order to keep the money coming the way it's coming, bro, hey, those are shit that we throw in there. You know what I mean? But these motherfuckers don't take the time to fucking educate themselves and learn that shit, right? They just talk out of their fucking asses. Like, come on now, bro. Like, think of it. You're a businessman, right? Try to do the best in business, right? They does it all the time. Hey, we'll trade this player and you'll give us 6 future picks later on in the future, you know, first round picks. Okay, yeah, sounds good, right? Then it's like, oh, how come we're giving our picks away to that team? Well, that was part of the deal, my boy. That's how people do it sometimes. You know? They go to game 7 too. Serio, bro, we haven't had a game 7 in a long time. Because in reality, the talent that the Thunder have versus the talent that the Pacers have, there shouldn't have been no reason for a game 7. I could understand if the Pacers maybe had like another good, you know, like star like that, right? Bunch of role players though, but they've been doing their thing. While the fucking Thunder, you know, practically have, you know, 4 All-Stars. You know, all those motherfuckers could, you know, easily hit 30 points if they wanted to on a day-to-day. When we're talking about Dort, William, Alexander, and Chet, you know? And, you know, Alex Caruso comes in with that defense. It's no joke. Will be smothering people. Anyways, I have a question if you don't mind answering. What current matters do you... what current mattress do you use? Is it comfortable? How much was it? No. My mattress is old as fuck, and I have no idea what kind of a mattress it is. Yeah, as a matter of fact, me and my wife, we've been talking about getting a new mattress, you know, as of lately. So, you know, we're gonna look to get that because my shit's all fucked up already. Too much putting it in use, if you know what I mean. Don't want to toot my own horn here, but It was a joke. By the way, remember I asked you yesterday if you knew any old homies who were around regular days. Actually stood community. Yeah, Simon. Uh, how was it like back in the days? As a matter of fact, if you want, I'll send you a link. I talked about it in a video that I did. Do you still have interviews that you did with all the... No, bro, I don't. If not, I would have re-uploaded those shits. Like I said back then, I really wasn't thinking about like the long-term shit about YouTube, right? If not, I would have fucking stored those shits and shit like that. Or if I would have known that, you know, YouTube could like would give you fucking strikes and blocks and you know what I mean? Because I really didn't read none of that shit the first time, you know, I was doing it, right? I was just like fucking pressing okay. Right? Then next you know my shit was shut down. I was like, the fuck? Because like when you're first opening a channel, bro, it's asking you all kinds of shit, bro. You gotta do it. It's a lot of shit to read, and I was just like, man, fuck all that. But then the second time around, I was like, all right, let me actually pay attention to all this shit. They even have you do a fucking quiz and shit. I'm just like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, right? To make sure that you know the guidelines and shit like that. Like, valiendo verga. It was more active back in the days. Now, instead of gang beef, it's more people going at it over racial and political. Not so much. I mean, if that's what you're like, if that's what you're looking up on a day to day, well, then that's what the algorithm's gonna push to you, right? But I feel like it's still the same shit, right? But yeah, it was more active back then because the murder rate was a lot higher back then. But when people say, oh, nowadays these fools are scared to fight. Back in the days, homie used to throw hands. Nowadays these fools just want to blast. You know, that's some bitch shit. Not like back in the days. And it's like, whoa, slow your horses. First of all, if you look at the statistics, gun-related murders was a lot higher back then than it is now. More people were getting shot and killed, you know, by shootings than they do now. So there was more shootings before than now. Fun fact, right? Now you can go and argue with the statistics, but numbers don't lie. You know what I mean? So actually, no, people were blasting more before than now. But people be like, nah, they used to throw hands before. Nah, fools were getting small. Motherfuckers were blasting fools. Maybe like back then, right? Like in the fucking like in the early 20s and 1800s, maybe then. So some barrios have treaties with each other to handle each other's business. Yeah, well, you know, there's certain stuff that I can't dive into, right? So, I mean, there's barrios that kick it with each other, right? But as in, let's say, you know, talking about like when it comes to their business and stuff like that, that I just can't say. But there's neighborhoods that do hang out with each other and are really cool with each other. Now, when I say, you know, like, you know, treaties together, well, I don't know. What if Trump ran the Nazis? Trump. I'm telling you that motherfucker don't give a fuck about like racial issues. Like, he doesn't care for white people either. Like, that's just all a front, a facade. You know, there is certain individuals out there that are racist, right? Like, you know, some of these, you know, KKK members or these Nazi lowriders and people like that, right? That actually care about their ethnicity and are looking to put the white power movement and everything like that, right? Trump's not one of those people. Even though it may sound like it, right? Because of the way he says and how he talks about other ethnicities, right? But that's just because he's just an asshole and a piece of shit of a person, right? But he's not racist, you know? He only cares about himself and looking after himself, right? He don't give a fuck about white people either. Trust me. To him, whether white, but they're all the same to him. Beneath him. It's all about Trump and Trump only. Trump will always put himself before anybody else. Trump always comes number one to him. And Trump is willing to do, you know, whatever it takes to keep himself number one and throw whoever he needs to under the bus, regardless of their skin color. Even if it's his own kids. That's his get down. So he doesn't care for white people either. You should probably get a hybrid mattress. Yeah, probably. And now you just got to go and test them out and see what's cracking, with them. Oh, but we're definitely gonna get a good one though, a good one. And yeah, we'll be definitely dropping a little bit of change on there. Some old heads also tried to say that non-gang member and women and children were always off limits when there is innocent people in gang violence back in the day. No, but here's the thing though, they are off limits, but you do see from time to time that they do get killed, right? But that's not because they were the actual targets. They just happen to catch a stray or whatever the right. But not to say that they were the actual targets. You get what I mean? So it happened, but not because that was the plan, right? The plan just happened to go sideways, and and trust me, there is consequences for that. So, see, but that's the stuff that the civilians don't know, right? They don't get to see the fallout, or the rest of the story, right? What happens when shit like that happens, right? They don't get to see how those problems get resolved and what tends to happen. To them, it's just like the story just ends there, right? And like I said, and that's not because they're looking to please the media or civilians, right? Because like I said, they're not gonna know either way, right? But that's because it goes up against the morals. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like they're doing it because they're looking to gain some type of sympathy points back, right? Because it's not like the people are gonna end up finding out. So I've had a Toyota since the beginning. Honda's great too. I don't like Nissan. All right, I figure I have a Nissan. Toyota. I have a Toyota too. Well, two Toyotas, one Nissan. Yeah, but that Honda though, woo, man, I put that shit through hell. That shit was full of bullet holes and everything, bro. I'm not even lying. That shit was all shot up. From the front, the side door, from the back. And not like we had the bread to go and fucking fix all that shit, right? We had to be rolling like that. And yes, every time we get pulled over, they would ask. I'd be like, I bought it. I bought it like that. It's just sad. Some people don't know how properly aim and shoot. When it comes to a scenario like that, there's not really like, you could have training for it, right? But 9 times out of 10, when you're working and dealing with a scenario like that, right? Everything's happening fast. Your adrenaline's rushing. Your heart is pumping. You know what I mean? Like shit's just chaotic, right? It's really hard to think straight. Have you ever got a car from a dealership? Yeah, two of them. The Nissan and the one that I'm in right now. But the other Toyota, I bought it off some person from the streets, right? And my Honda, I had gotten it off the streets as well. Then I had a Acura Legend, I got off the streets too. And I had a Silverado, but I got off the streets too. But those just all ended up, you know, getting fucking impounded and shit. Confiscated. We're at North Hollywood is We're at North Hollywood. Is it dangerous? Almost all of it. Anywhere near the fucking the Lancashire Swamis and the by the Whitsett Park and the No Hollywood Plaza. That's right there. The North Hollywood little shopping mall. Not really a mall. It's what they call it, but it's not really a mall. All that by North Hollywood High School, Grant. All those areas. Like I said, almost the whole thing. Like people be like, nah, there's some. I seen that some place that's nice. Like where? Like, all right, fool, that ain't no Hollywood. That's Studio City, my boy. Don't get it confused now. I know you don't go into these topics, but damn, so you got shut up. Oh yeah, many times, bro. Many times, many times. I'm telling you, I have a lot of stories. I just won't talk about them on here. Because there's no need for it. Like I'm not looking to try to impress people with these stories. Like, damn, my boy, damn, you was really out there. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to get that kind of shit. It's not the type of praise that I want to get like from people, off of that kind of shit. You know what I mean? I'm not looking to be validated on the internet. That's why I just don't dive into those. Because that's the only reason why people would dive into those stories. The only time I would dive into a story like that is if there's a lesson in there that I'm looking to to push out there, to people. Like if there's a lesson to it. But 9 times out of 10 there was no lesson. Right? It was just a whole lot of fucking chaos. We might go kick it. I guess. Play the lottery? Some scratchers? That's right. I want a few bucks. I'll take you to your destination, but it's still. Yeah, I feel you. Is Culver safe? Like Culver City? Like the projects? Look, but see, here's the thing though. Any city is safe to civilians. Like if you don't have no gang ties and shit like that, then you have nothing to worry about. Anywhere in Los Angeles is beautiful for you. You know what I mean? Like you don't gotta worry about shit. The ones that need to worry about are the homies that are from, neighborhoods. They're the ones that gotta worry. Because those are the ones that are gonna be getting hunted and who people are looking for. But other like regular folks, they don't like they don't got shit to worry about. They could just you know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna be bothering them. But like let's say you're a homie. You're right, like your shit swap me, just get. Oh, I know. That's where I used to spend all my time. We had so many fights at that swap meet. It's not even funny, bro. So many. I could more than like fucking 10 fights maybe. Not one on ones. I mean like 6 on 8 or fucking 5 on fucking 3 or 10 on 6, like that type of shit. Poor people that work there. We give them such a hard time too. Young and dumb, huh? It is what it is. Yeah, but you gotta worry about cars, brakes, armed robberies, and mugging. Yeah, you know what? That is true, but you have to worry about that anywhere, though. Because when individuals are looking for a come up, right? They're gonna drive to nice areas to come ups, right? They're gonna go to the nice areas where they know that people have money and have nice things. That's where they're gonna go and come up, right? And you can come up in the ghetto, then nobody got nothing. You know what I mean? Everybody broke. That's why you see all these home invasions and all this shit. All these break-ins are always done in nice residential areas. These motherfuckers ain't stupid. They know where to go. They know that these motherfuckers that down here they don't got nothing. You know what I mean? Over here, you break into a car shit, you might feel bad for the fucking owner of the car. You might even leave some money for them. That's how bad it is down here. Like, damn, this motherfucker got shit. Homie's got it worse than me. I'm gonna hook homie up, man. It's fucked up. You know what I mean? Shit. Might actually go break into a nice whip in a nice area, right? And come and install that stereo into his car. Man, I'm gonna hook this fool up. what I take from our own people, because they don't care, bro. Because they just don't care. They don't care. To them, they're not seeing other raza or other people. You know what I mean? Like all they see is just an opportunity. That's it. They don't care if people, say that that's fucked up or or damn, that's gacho, or think about how hard. You know what I mean? They don't care about none of that. To them, it's like this, bro. If they have to be putting up with the fucked up predicament that they are on a day to day, right? The situation that they go through, right? And people are telling them, stop bitching about it, just suck it up and, muscle through it like the rest of us and shit like that. Like, so if nobody cares about this individual and what he's going through, right? Then why should he care about anybody else's feelings or what anybody else is going through, right? So he's gonna go and rob and do what he does to people, right? And then he's gonna be like, stop bitching about it, suck it up like the rest of us, homie. Now you are gonna be going through what I go through on a day to day. You know what I mean? And just like I gotta put up with it on a day to day, well, there you go. And it's fucked up. It's scandalous. It shouldn't have to be like that. That's a fucked up way of thinking. I know that, but that's the mentality, though. That's these individuals. Because remember, most these individuals, when all of this shit is occurring at the age, when they're young, right? When they're going through puberty, when they really don't know how to deal with their emotions and their problems, right? So these individuals are just gonna react off of emotions. You see, that's why, all teenagers are stubborn, hard-headed, think they know everything, and they blow everything out of proportion. So imagine all these individuals that are troubled, and now you add those factors into the equation, right? They're not gonna listen or care to see it from your perspective. You get what I mean? That's why I always tell people, it's important to be a parent. It's important to be in your kids' lives, bro. Because when parents are in kids' lives, their kids don't turn out like this, bro. They don't. They only go to the streets when they feel like they got no connection at home. No kid, when they have a connection at home, ends up in the streets, bro. That's not how it works. There's a reason why these individuals are out there. And it's not because these individuals are brainwashing them and taking them by force. They're coming willingly. You know what I mean? They're in the mix because they want to belong. They feel like they belong. They feel like these individuals understand them because nobody at home understands them. You get what I'm saying? And that's why it's important, because abuse doesn't have to be only physical or verbally, right? The parents always being at work, neglection, right? They never communicate. Lack of communication, form of neglection. Neglection leads to troubled individuals. That's why I tell people it's important to be. Look, I'm from the streets, right? And from a neighborhood. What I did with my kids was the opposite that was done with me. My kids are in college. You get what I'm saying? Straight A students, bro. I have even posted their report cards on the internet because how proud I am right here on this YouTube shit. Because I am proud. And all I did with them was the opposite that was done with me. And the rest of the homies. You know what I mean? Going to all the homies' house, it was like going to my house, bro. It was the same over and over and over. You'll be surprised. I say, just in California, there is more than 60,000 kids in the foster home systems. And on a day-to-day, in the year of the pandemic, right, there was a report of 200,000 child abuse cases. You'll be surprised how many parents are ignorant and refuse to be parents, right? And feel like, coming to their kids this way fixes problems, right? When it doesn't. It doesn't. It makes shit worse, bro. Builds resentment, builds walls, But all right, ladies and gentlemen, my lunch break is over. We got to get back to it, but it was good chopping it up with you guys, and we out.